I actually started the season with some goals, right? Just like everybody else. Everybody has New Year's resolutions, right? Some they have this list of things that they want to do. And before I get into what I went through in 2022, I want to say leave these people alone when they start to talk about their New Year's resolutions. All right? Leave these people alone. What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Couch with Rob Fields. I'm your host, Rob Fields, and we are in the holiday season. Holiday season! Yes, the end of 2022 is approaching at a fast and rapid rate. We just wrapped up Christmas, and man, you already know how it comes down the hatch when it comes to leaving one year and going into the next. It's almost a situation where we're doing inventory, right? We're doing some inventory. We're saying to ourselves, all right, what good habits have I picked up? What things do I need to let go? What people have I added to the mix? What people do I need to let go? At the end of every year, this is kind of how we do it, especially as adults. As kids, it's just whatever, right? But I think we are all doing some inventory at this point in the year, and yeah, I just wanted to drop an episode so we could chop it up about 2022, at least from my point of view, right? So this year has been really interesting for me, and I actually started the season with some goals, right? Just like everybody else. Everybody has New Year's resolutions, right? Some they have this list of things that they want to do. And before I get into what I went through in 2022, I want to say leave these people alone when they start to talk about their New Year's resolutions. All right? Leave these people alone. There's thousands of memes about the New Year's resolution. Okay? There's thousands of memes, and some of them are funny. However, we have to give people credit on just at least starting a process and doing what they said they were going to do. So for me, right, my big thing on self evaluation, self improvement, adding value to oneself is there has to be identification. You have to be able to identify where you're coming up short. And through that identification, you say, okay, at the beginning of the year, I'm going to stop eating chips. I'm going to stop eating sweets. I'm going to stop drinking and partying and hanging out. I'm going to spend some more time being by myself to improve my idea of myself. I'm going to read more. I'm going to do this and that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. So there is a study and there's actual stats that say at the beginning of each year, the subscriptions to all of your favorite gyms shoot up in January. That's okay. I'm sure all of these, conglomerates that own these gyms in countries around the world are happy in January. But I think we have to give people credit. We have to give people credit on their identification. They saw the problem, they saw the issue, and now they're trying to get after it. For me, um, my my new year started off a little bit different last year, y'all. So last year around this time, and you'll probably hear some fireworks going off in the background because yeah, people can't wait. But last year around this time, we started the couch with Rob Fields. Hey, we need to give ourselves some hand claps, man. We've been doing this for 1 year. This is not, yeah, this is about the 1 year anniversary. We've been doing the show for 1 year. Are you kidding me? We stayed consistent. We went through the ups and downs with a ton of help and a ton of assistance and just a bunch of conversation. We've been doing this for 1 year. So first of all, before I get into my little spiel about the show and what we've been doing, first of all, I want to say thank you to all of the people who have collaborated with us to make this thing real. Thank you to all of the people who have been featured on the show thus far. Man, we appreciate you. We appreciate your insight. We appreciate your conversation, your time, all of that. And we appreciate all of the people who have taken some time to either watch the content on IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we've also appreciate all of you who have took the time out to go to YouTube and check out our stuff. You know, we really appreciate it. This show wouldn't be a real thing if it wasn't for you guys. So, peace to y'all. I can't wait till we get these new recordings started. But anyway, so my year's been up and down, and there's been a lot of ups, especially in regards to the podcast, because we're actually making progress, right? We're in the process of it all. And I've said it before, I love the process because this is where you create the story. The story is in the process, so the ups and downs. So for me, a lot of the process has been involved in those times when you think things are going to go smooth. Yeah. Technology, baby. There's been so many times where I said to myself, "Oh, this is going to be a quick edit." Next thing you know, the edit takes 4.5 hours. This type of stuff has been happening throughout this process. But what I will say is because I'm so tied up into the process, which I got from playing sports, right? Um, one like, one view is kind of enough for me. I'm not in the capitalist space yet, where it's just about money, money, money here and money there and this and that. I'm not there yet because I'm still in the infancy stages, right? And when you're in the infancy stages, it's kind of like being in a relationship. It's the honeymoon, baby. Like everything looks good, everything smells good, everything sounds good. And I'm kind of in that space with the show so far. But, after 1 year, with all the ups and the downs, it's been a an amazing process. I can't wait to pick the speed up a little bit, right? So through this podcast experience, right? This was started actually during my last season of playing. So I was playing basketball, and I started playing basketball at 2 years old. I've told this story on earlier episodes. Y'all go check out that, especially that fear episode. That was the first episode that I dropped, and I kind of gave my story, through fear, and it started with basketball, right? I started playing basketball when I was 2. I started really adapting to it, and I started the sacrifices that come with being in this space when I was 6 years old. And from that moment at turning 6 years old, getting my first basketball goal, I committed my life to it. And I did that for oof, 28 years. And then I decided to stop playing last season. So in 2022, my team, we we started off the season really well. And for me, when I went into the last season, I was saying to myself, I want a championship to kind of end the run. And this is, I mean, I don't care what type of basketball player or what type of athlete you are. You always want to end on a high note, right? So I came into that last season saying, man, I want to win a championship. Ladies and gentlemen, if I were to tell y'all the story about how our season got jacked up, y'all wouldn't believe it. Okay. So we started in one way. We were playing well, excuse me. We were playing well. And then we had to forfeit games. At the end of the season, we made it to the semifinal. We got there with flying colors. We were eliminated again. Like all of this crazy stuff was happening in that last season of basketball. And of course, it's about um the podcast, and I started to fall in love with the process of being a podcaster. But it was a lot of extra external bull crap that was going on the playing side, which kind of led me to say, yeah, fam, you need to sit it down. So I decided to stop playing. And you talk to when if you're smart about it, right? So if you're smart about going through a career change, if you're smart about um, just leaving something that you've been in for a very long time, you're going to talk to other people in your field to kind of give you a heads up of what it looks like to leave that field and go into other stuff, right? So I started the process of talking to people and kind of getting some information about where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, et cetera, et cetera. And I got some really good information, and I talked to some really smart individuals. I talked to some fearless individuals who just kind of took everything head on, and they gave me exactly what I needed to hear. I'll be honest with you. It's one thing to hear that information. It's another one to actually go through the process. So the process for me has been up and down. So I I think now that mental health is on the forefront, is in the forefront, we're starting to understand what it means. And a lot of what we go through is not just basic stuff, which is what we were taught. Toughen up, suck it up, blah 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 blah. People didn't really want you to feel because they felt like life had to go on. Understandable, right? But what we've come to learn is that a lot of what is lingering on in our life is a part it's attributed to trauma or depression. Trauma usually leads to depression, right? I've never identified depression until I started this process, right? So I've been through some stuff that I can identify it with being depressed. Going through this process is hard for a couple of reasons. So as athletes, we always go through this process where that process is like when you hear athletes talk about leaving the game, and I can only talk about athletes right now, even though I've talked to other people, but we'll get to that. But athletes go through this. They either miss the locker room, the camaraderie that comes with being on a team. They miss actually playing, actually being in motion and playing and being an athlete. They miss the spoils of being an athlete, which could be fanfare, people cheering you on, people coming to see you play, people wanting to be in your orbit because you're that athlete, or um, from a male perspective, the women. So these are things that athletes usually miss. They miss the spoils of being an athlete. I can be honest with you, I don't miss none of that. Like I just don't. In terms of the locker room, like my overseas experience for the last 12 years has been very different. Um, I've had some really good teammates. I've met some cool guys. I've had some good times, but I don't miss being in the locker room. In terms of playing, I just miss being in basketball shape, which is something that because I'm still kind of fresh out of the game, I can start to maintain that right now, right? I'm married, so I ain't looking for no women. The cheers and jeers or boos from opposing crowds, that was always fun, but I don't lose sleep over that. Like I did it, you know. The thing that I'm struggling with the most is this. So, like I just said not too long ago, I dedicated years to this game. I dedicated my life to this game. Over 25 years, every day, every summer, even on vacations, that we were very fortunate to go on when I was coming up. I just wanted to play basketball. I dedicated my life to this. While all of my friends were partying and, just kind of ripping and running and doing their thing, I was at the house. I was trying to get rest. I was preparing for practice. I was going to morning practice. I was trying to get extra shooting in later in the day, so I would go out and shoot by myself. I dedicated my life to it, right? And what came with it, especially in regards to me, was I wanted the respect of my peers. And I think more than anything, that's why I did it so long. I wanted the respect of my peers in one way or another. And through that process of gaining respect, I got what I needed from it. Um, you feel like you got to the top of the mountain. And for me, with in this process of retiring from playing professional basketball and dedicating my life to the sport, I now have to start from zero. I have to start from nothing. And it's been tough. It's been tough. So, of course, you have to revisit your resume and update that. That's a part of it. But also, I'm applying for these jobs in a way that I'm kind of laying everything out there, right? And I've gotten turned away a number of times. I'm not going to complain about it because everyone goes through this and this is a part of living in life, right? But to have been in a space, in a place where you work so hard to get that respect, and to some degree, I was never without a job. Fortunately, in my career, my playing career, I was never without a job playing, right? But it's tough to now go back to the bottom, to go back to zero, and have people tell you you're unqualified. And in the jobs that I've applied to, I'm very qualified. I put in a lot of work, especially over this last year. Well, I'd say about a year and a half. I've been putting in a lot of work. And to get into these spaces and have people tell you, "Yeah, we don't need you," it's tough, and it takes you to a space where you feel defeated. So imagine doing this 20 times or 15 times, and you getting kind of smacked in the face. This is what's happening right now. So I've struggled with that, and that's been the biggest struggle over this last year. Just adapting to this new me, which I'm okay with because I never want to be associated with just playing basketball. I feel like a lot of the players that I looked up to coming up, a good number of them are struggling with their identity. They don't know who they are outside of the game. And while they played well and they did a lot of things, they struggle with not being that. And a long time ago, I said I didn't want to be that player. I didn't want to be the player that struggled with not being a basketball player anymore. So I did it. I played basketball, but I'm now going through this process of kind of recreating and being the new me. And the new me doesn't disassociate itself from who I am. Who I am is who I am. I'm always going to be this. This is me, baby. I'm right here. But I'm not the basketball player. So I have to prove myself again. And through these ups and downs, these ebbs and flows, if you will, I've kind of found myself and said, this is a part of the process. And, I get on this microphone and when I'm talking with our guests and, family members, if you will, um, I'm always telling them, hey, I love the process. I love the process. But I've been in a dark place. Just adapting to starting from zero. It's not easy, but let's get it. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. This is that's been a big part of what I've been going through. But we're here, and the thing that really made it right in these last couple of days or so, well, these last months, right? These last 6 months, I had a conversation with my grandma, and I'm always going to reference my family when we're having these conversations, right? I had a conversation with my grandmother, and my grandma, she taught for what, 40 plus years, changed lives too. She's one of the most giving people I've ever seen in my life, and one of the most skilled teachers I've ever been around in my life. And in my family, we had a lot of teachers. And I think we followed that, we followed suit because of just how impactful she was. She changed lives. But she decided to retire. And my grandmother told me the same story that I'm telling you. She spent years and years and years of just building this persona in the community and in the schools. And she did so much. And then she retired. And I had no idea that she was going through that until I opened up. So not only was 2022 a year of just starting new journeys and this new energy and change, it was a year of discovery. I learned more about myself. I learned more about my roots. I learned more about where I came from. I reconnected with a side of my family that I haven't spoken to in years. I'm opening up to my family members a lot more. I'm now accepting this new person. So I'm not telling you that you have to do it, but I'm just saying, going into 2023, put this on your list. Put this on your list. Open up a little bit more. When I was in that place that I was in, when I wasn't feeling good, opening up helped me. That conversation with my grandma was big because she told me something about her that I didn't even know. I didn't even know that she went through what I am currently going through when she decided to leave the teaching profession. She gave her everything to teaching. She gave her everything to the kids, right? And then you say, I'm going to stop. Different game, right? Different game. Same theme. Almost identical. It's pretty remarkable. Also, in 2022, it's been a very active year in terms of what we've been seeing online, right? So I think this is one of the first updates on our show. Britney Griner is now free. She is now free. I think she was in prison for what, 10 months or something like that. I think we all I think the consensus was, I mean, she did what she did, but 10 months, 9 year sentence, that was crazy. But the update is good and it's positive. She's back home. And I'm telling y'all better take that as a lesson learned. I'm doing the same thing, by the way. Don't even, yeah. Don't have me preaching up here because I need the preachers. I need that. But she's back home. Shout out to Brittany Griner. Also, there's been a lot of stuff happening worldwide, right? So first, when you look on your phone, there's a lot of guns involved. So there's war in Eastern Europe. That war has affected the entire country. Well, their countries of course, but it's affected the entire world. Gas prices are going up and down. public perception is going up and down. People were talking here and there. Um, it's there for us to see, then it's gone. I mean, we can even go to entertainment. Speaking about guns, there was one rapper who allegedly shot an R&B singer, Meg and Tory Lanez. There was a shooting that happened. What else do I have on the list? These entertainers, their relationships are being put on blast. Chris Paul, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, uh, uh, Pete Davidson, all of these people, all of their stuff is being put on blast, right? And the thing that blows my mind is that so many people care. This is crazy. Like I personally have to pull away from the gossip. I remember a time where a lot of entertainers, their lives were a myth. It was a myth. Like you didn't know who was doing what, when, who they was screwing, who they weren't, who you didn't know. You just knew what they did. I kind of miss that. I kind of miss that time in our lives where you didn't know what the heck they were doing. You were just watching the movies. You were listening to the music. You were checking out their art. I kind of miss that. Of course, there's some exceptions to the rule, right? So Bill Cosby was drugging women. It's kind of pertinent information. I mean, he was a slime ball, especially when he out here preaching to us to pull your pants up, and you ain't doing this, and come on, man. Another one, R. Kelly. Like this is, yeah. I mean, come on. He was disgusting. Like, come on, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do? Then you have a case like Will Smith, right? Will was kind of in that realm, where he was a mythical figure. Denzel Washington, a mythical figure. You know, these people were mythical figures. You didn't know exactly what they were doing. You knew they were married. You knew they were this and they were that, right? But I feel like a person like Will Smith, I think while he's doing really good work of being transparent, I think he's also struggling with the transparency. So I'm not going to talk about the slap and all that kind of stuff. Whatever. There's water under the bridge now, right? But I really feel like he's struggling with opening up himself to the world because the world, for a lot of people, they're full of it, man. Judgmental as ever, talking down on this and that, an opinion about everything. I think is bullcrap. But I think he's struggling with that transparency. To some degree, I miss just being able to separate one from the other. I don't care about these people's relationships. I don't care about the baby mama drama. I think domestic violence is, but I feel like that's something that the police should take care of. Um, my opinion about these people's lives aren't going to change the fact that we're talking about humans. All of this stuff that we hear, whether it's problems in a relationship, court dates, and all this crap, it is very jacked up. But man, I miss not having so much access to these people because I'm telling you, a lot of them probably don't care what I'm going through. It's just, let's just be real. I don't care. I don't care about Kanye and his wife beefing. I don't care about his spat with her new ex boyfriend. Um, let's speak. Let's talk about Kanye. Kanye is one of those people too, man. He's one of those people. He's one of those people that have captivated us in a way that has put him on a pedestal in a sense. You know, he came out, he was very outspoken. He went through some trauma. I don't think he ever dealt with it. It changed him completely. Um, but I really don't understand how we put so much weight on an individual that's going through a manic episode. Like we have to let these people live, man. We have to let these people go through their human experience. Just because they've entertained us in one way or the other does not give us the right to put all of this weight on these individuals. I mean, let's be clear. Why the hell would I look to an entertainer to tell me about my political preferences? Who cares what they think? What is giving them the right to give us that information and us put so much weight on it? What Kanye said and what he's been doing for the last 5 to 7 years has been bullcrap. However, I still play the life of Pablo. Like, what you want me to do? I don't care about his what he thinks. That's not why I listen to the music. I'm sorry, or I'm not. I've said this before. I'm not sorry. He can't sway my thought process on who I want to vote or who I want to be as a person. He don't have that power over me. You know why? Because I'm willing to do the research for myself. If I hear something and it sounds good to me, and it sounds really good, and it really like gets into my spirit, then I'm gonna research it. If I hear something that is that is very valuable, but it's attached to some bull crap, I'm gonna research the bull crap because I have that power. I have that power to search and get the information for myself. I'm not letting an entertainer dictate what I'm thinking. Are you kidding me? And what happens is when you give these people this power, they create Jesus walks or man, I don't know, 7 pounds or something. And they go and you put your faith in them and you place them at this this high point in your lives and they go off and do something stupid and they disappoint you. You think I'm losing sleep over one of these entertainers? Heck no. I'm not doing it. And I can't tell y'all what to do. And I won't. But stop giving these people your power. You have the power to research. You have the power to kind of figure this thing out. We're in the information age. Information is out here for all of us. Good and bad, of course, but that's what we're supposed to do as humans. Use this information, take it all in, filter out the bull crap, and let's see what we have. Maybe we become better people at the end of it, right? Yeah. But what does life look like moving past 2022? I want to ask you guys that. What does life look like for you moving into the next phase of life? 2023 is approaching. I have some stuff on my list. Self improvement is at the top. Being a better communication is at the top. Excuse me, being a better communicator is at the top. I'm probably going to get back in some better shape because, you know, I told you once I stop playing, you know, I'm cool. I play every now and then. So being in better shape, being a better communicator, improving myself, addressing my self worth. At times, I degrade myself in order to push myself, and that's kind of how I was as a basketball player. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. Boom, 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 boom. I went to the gym. I went to lift weights. I went to run. I went to do all of these things because I had to psych myself out Every time I got comfortable, anytime I had a good game, I had to say, this other guy played better. You can do better, etc., etc. I just kept going through that process, right? So now I have to rewire myself. I have to change my thinking a little bit and go into a space and a place where it's like, nah, you are enough. You're good enough. You can still be better, but you're good enough. That's what I'm going into 2023 with. And I feel like if I really buy into this process of changing myself, um, 2023 and beyond is going to be more prosperous than we can ever imagine. When I say we, I'm talking about you too. You know you can do more. Maybe doing more is doing more for yourself. I'm talking to my givers, my people who are out there working hard, giving back, working hard for your family, working hard for your loved ones, working hard for love. You're going, going, going. You're doing everything that you say you're going to do, but you never give back to yourself. Maybe doing more is giving more to yourself. What about that? Yeah, I'm claiming it, man. 2022, 2023 and beyond is going to be better than we ever thought. And I think the goal for us athletes is to make our post playing life better than the days when we played. I think for all of us athletes, we should aim to make our post playing life better than our lives when we actually played these games. That's my goal. 2023 and beyond. So listen, I just really wanted to check in with y'all. Hey, listen, Happy New You. We're going to hashtag that. Happy New You, which I got from my baby girl. Happy New Year's. Excuse me. Happy New Year for all of my grammar freaks. Happy New Year to all of you guys. I hope you have been able to enjoy the holiday with your friends and family. We're going to get out of here. Listen, it costs nothing to be good to someone. Be good to someone today. I'm Rob Fields. I hope you have a happy, happy, happy start to your year. And listen, set those goals for your year and let's knock them out. All right, I'm right here with you. I'm setting my goals too. All right, don't let no memes discourage you from doing what you say you're gonna do. All right, listen, much love to you all. I hope you have a happy 2023. Continue to check in with the Couch with Rob Fields, and we holler at you on the next one. Peace.